Welcome back to the Data Professor YouTube channel. I'm Chanin Nanta Senamat, and on this YouTube channel we cover about data science concepts and tutorials. And so if you are into this kind of topic, please consider subscribing. So let's get into the content of this video. So in this video we're going to cover about how you can make use of the terminal in your programming projects, particularly for data science project. So what you want to do is fire up your terminal. What you can do is you can click on the show application, and then you can type in terminal, and then you find it here. And actually you could just drag and drop it into here so that it will create it like a favorite for you. So in the next time you can just click on it. And you could tweak the function of this by clicking on edit and preference, right? And then you can modify the size of the window, right? And then you will close it and then open it back up again. It becomes a bit smaller, right? Okay, so the most fundamental function that you would like to be able to do is to list the content of your folder. In order to do that, you want to type in ls. So ls means to list the content of the current folder. However, it's not telling us any information about the timestamp when is the file created or modified and how big is the file. In order to do that, you want to use the ls-l. So you will be able to see the read-write property of the file or folder. When is it created? Okay, so I have a Thai operating system, so it's in Thai language. This means November. This means December. Okay, so now we have the content of the present folder. So what about what folder am I in right now? So let's type in pwd. Pwd means print working directory. Okay, so it will tell me that I am currently in the home folder and in the Chanin subfolder. Okay, and so ls again, let's see. There's so many folders here, and if I download something from the internet, let's select the data set, it's going to go into the downloads folder. So I want to be able to change my directory, which is currently home/Chanin, and I want to change it to home/Chanin/download. So how do I do this? I need to change the directory. I need to move into the folder called downloads. So let's type in cd, which means change directory, and then I'm going to type in downloads. Enter ls-l in order to see the contents of the folder. And so here we see the iris.csv that we have created earlier. Okay, so the next thing is I want to be able to copy a file. Okay, so the thing is, whenever you want to modify the content of some files in your computer, you don't want to modify the original file. So what you want to do is you want to modify the copy of the file in order to be safe. So if you messed up something, then you still have the original remaining. However, if you use the original to modify it, and if you mess it up, then I mean it's pretty much, well, it's too bad. Okay, so let's create a copy of the iris.csv file. So I'm going to type in cp, which means to copy, iris.csv, and then I'm going to type in the name of a backup, or maybe I just type in iris2.csv ls-l, and so now I have iris2.csv, and you see that the file size are the same. Okay, 4774 byte. And how about this? I want to see the content of the iris2.csv file. So how can I do that? Well, I will use this command called cat, C-A-T. So CAT will allow me to see the content of the file. Let's see, iris2.csv. If I type in enter, so I'm going to see the whole entire content of the file, starting from line number 1 until the last line, line number 150. Okay, so this is the cat command. So I type in cat followed by the name of the file. And however, what if I just want to see the first couple of lines of the file? I mean, starting from the top. But I don't want to scroll up to the top, right, to save some time. So how can I do this? Well, you could type in head and type in the name of the file. And you see here, I see the top part of the file. And actually, you can add some arguments into here. Say like head -5, head space -5 space, and then the name of the file. And so I'm gonna see the first 5 lines of the file. And then if I just change this value to 3, then I'll see the first 3 lines, okay? And what about if I want to see the bottom part of the file? Well, we have a command called tail, right? So you have head and tail, right? The head would allow you to see the top part of the file, and the tail command will allow you to see the bottom part of the file. So I want to type in tail iris2.csv. So I'm going to see the bottom part of the file. Okay, and there's also this neat function where I can combine 2 commands together. So let's say that I want to see a specific line in the iris2.csv file. Let's say that I want to see line number 2. Okay, so let me type in head again. Head iris CSV. I want to see line number 2. So how can I do this? Well, I can do it like this. I'm going to type in head and then -2. Right? So I'm going to get 2 lines. And then I'm going to pipe it. So in order to get this symbol here, I'm going to press and hold the shift button on the keyboard. And then I'm going to type in the vertical symbol, which is on the same button as the backslash. Okay? But if you type in shift, it will become a vertical line here. So it's a pipe. So I'm gonna first run the command head -2 iris2.csv, and then I'm gonna pipe it to the tail, and then 1. And so I'm gonna get only the second line. Okay? Let's say I want the third line. So how can you do this? I'll go with head 3 iris2.csv. So I'm going to get 3 lines. So I want this particular line. So I'm going to invoke the same command. So I pressed on the up arrow button on the keyboard, and it will retrieve the previous command in the history of the command line. And then I'm going to pipe it to tail and then -1. So head -3 will allow me to get the first 3 lines of the file, the top 3 lines, right? The top 3 line 1, 2, 3, and then I pipe it to the command tail -1. So tail will allow me to see the content starting from the bottom up, and tail -1 will allow me to limit it at only the 3rd line. So it will ignore the first 2 lines. So therefore, I will get only the 3rd line, as you see here, right? This is the 3rd line, right? Starting from 4.9, 3.1, 4.9, 3.1. So I get only the 3rd line, okay? So this will come in handy in certain situation in your data analysis workflow. So let's say you might want to retrieve specific lines from a file. So this is what you can do here. And another useful command would be the grep command. So the grep command will allow me to search the entire content of the text file to see which lines in the text file contain the keyword that I'm looking for. So let's say that I'm looking for the keyword called iris setosa. So I'm going to put this in quotation mark, and then the name of iris CSV. So here we go. We have only the lines containing iris setosa. Okay. And the thing is, I want to see how many are there. I mean, I already know that there are 50 iris setosa. But let's say that in a actual setting, if I don't know, and if I want to know how many iris setosa are there in this file, what would I do? I would pipe it into a command called wc, which will count characters, or word count, or character count. So I'm going to type in this, and I'm going to pipe it into wc command and then -l. So this will count the number of lines that I have. So it's 50, right? So it goes to confirm that there are 50 iris setosa. Okay. And let's say that I want to save only iris setosa into a file. What can I do? I can just invoke the greater than command. And then I'm gonna type in the name of the file. Let's call it setosa.csv. Okay, so I have setosa.csv. Let's cat the file. Look at the content. Okay, there you go. I have only the setosa, right? So I can do the same thing with versicolor. I could say iris-versicolor. And then I'm going to call it versicolor. I'm going to do the same thing for virginica. Virginica. And then call it virginica. And so here you have it. I have versicolor and I have virginica. Let's cat the content of the file, virginica, and it works. And then I want to cat versicolor. So the thing is, I don't want to type in the name of the file again. I'm a bit lazy, so I'm going to hit on the tab button, and then it'll do the auto completion for me. And so here you have it. I have the contents of the iris versicolor. To say that I already have versicolor, virginica, and setosa in 3 separate CSV files. So let's say that I want to rename the file. I want to add iris dash in front of the file name. Okay, I'm going to use the mv command. And so I'm going to do mv CSV, and then I'm going to add iris dash in front. So I'm going to call it iris-setosa.csv. And let's see what happens. So then setosa becomes iris-setosa.csv. And I'm going to do the same thing for virginica. So I'll just replace the name here. Virginica. There you have it. Right, here we have iris virginica. And then one more, versicolor. Versicolor. Okay, there you go. Iris setosa, iris versicolor, iris virginica. Okay, so we have it right here. Okay, so let's say that I want to create a folder. How can I do this? I want to use the mkdir command, and I'm going to create a folder called, let's call it iris. Okay, mk, and then ls-l. And so here you see that there's the iris folder in here. And so I want to move all of the CSV files. So I'm going to say **.csv into iris. Enter. And notice that the iris, all of the CSV files have been moved to the iris folder. So I'm going to change the directory, cd, and then iris. And then let's look at the content. So you see here, all of the CSV files are in here. And I think for today, you have learned several commands that will allow you to navigate through your workspace, create folders, rename folders, move files. So I think that's pretty much will allow you to do many tasks that will be useful for your data science project. Thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you in the next one. But in the meantime, please check out these videos.